Hi, I'm Amy Weber. I teach at the Lincoln Yoga Center on Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 5:45 to 6:45, and I teach all levels Vinyasa style yoga. So I hope you enjoy my class. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start in child's pose for a few breaths. So go ahead and spread your knees nice and wide, cross those big toes, and find a comfortable child's pose. Relax those arms on the mat. You can rest your forehead on your hands, or you can take your arms all the way around towards your heels. Just make sure those arms are nice and relaxed. Rounding through those sit bones, shift your weight a little bit from side to side, and just really get rounded onto the mat. Start to find your breath here. Take a few just regular breaths, nice and easy. Then we'll go ahead and start to move into your 2 to 1 breath, where the length of your exhale is twice as long as the length of your inhale. So just try to make that exhale nice and long. Breathe into that back body. Feel how your ribs move, how your chest moves as you inhale, as you exhale. Take a few more breaths here. On your next inhale, extend those arms forward, reach through those fingertips, press those sit bones back into your heels. Really take a nice long stretch. Shift a little bit from side to side. Just add a little bit more movement to your body. Let's inhale and walk your hands over to the right, just as far as you can. Cross that left hand on top of your right hand. Sit back into those heels. And just feel that stretch through your left side body. Nice deep breaths, just breathe. And on your next inhale, walk those hands back through center and then over to the left, just as far as you can. Sitting back into those heels again. Breathe into that right side body. On your next inhale, come back to center for one more breath. Nice long inhale, long exhale. And then on your next inhale, make your way to your hands and knees, coming into your table. So knees are underneath your hips, wrists are under your shoulders or slightly in front, fingers are spread wide. Let's go ahead and shut down our eyes and start to move through some rounds of cat and cow. Just warm up our spines a little bit more. So on an exhale, round that back, find your cat. And on an inhale, drop that belly, extend that chest through your arms, stretch those sit bones to the back of the room, and find cow. Just move at your own pace. Just find what feels good. Maybe you want to move a little faster in your cat and cow today. Maybe you want to take it nice and slow. Do a few more rounds. Again, just moving with your breath. do one more round of cat and cow. And we're going to meet back in our table. And once you're back in your table, shift your weight even between your hands and knees. We're going to extend that left leg back behind you, press the ball of your foot into the mat, and give yourself a good calf stretch. So press your heel toward the mat. Let that calf release. Let's engage our core, lift that leg up to hip height. We're going to extend that right arm forward, palm faces in, for a nice sunbird stretch. So reach forward through those right fingertips, kick that left leg back, nice and long line from those fingers all the way to those toes. Engage that core. One more breath. Let's go ahead and bend at the knee, grab the top of your foot with your right hand, and kick that foot into your hand. Take a little twist here. Opening up that right shoulder. And let's go ahead and release, unwind. From here, we're going to thread the needle. So take that right arm out to the side. And then we're going to draw that arm underneath your left arm, coming down onto your right shoulder, your right side of your head. Pressing through that left palm, just open your heart to the left side of the room. So we're stretching the back of your shoulder now. So we open the right shoulder, now we're going to stretch through the back shoulder blade area in your deltoid. Let's take one more breath. On your next inhale, press up, unwind, come back to table. We're going to step both feet back and move into a high plank. Good. From here, shift your weight into that left hand, left foot, and move into a side plank. Good. One more breath here. Let's go ahead and unwind, moving back into plank. From here, let's lower our knees to the mat, hug those elbows in tight to your sides, lower down. We're going to peel up into just a little cobra. So hands come alongside your bust line. Draw that heart forward and up. Good, go ahead and lower. We're going to press up and back through child's pose. And then we're going to make our way back to table. So making your way back to table, shift your weight evenly between those hands and knees again. So you have a tendency to sit back into those hips. We want to be nice and evenly spaced. So extend that right leg behind you. Press the ball of your foot into the mat. So try to press that heel down toward the mat. Stretching out that right calf. And engage through your core. Lift that leg up to hip height. And then extend your left arm forward. Palm faces in, reach with that right arm, or your left arm, and reach back through those, your left heel. Engage your core. Good, let's bend your knee, reach around with that left hand, grab the top of your foot, and then kick the top of your foot into your hand, getting a nice stretch and an opening for your left shoulder. Good, let's go ahead and unwind. Come back to table. From here, let's take that left arm out to the side, and we're going to thread our needle. So take that left arm underneath your right, coming down onto your left side of your head, left shoulder. Go ahead and press through that right palm. Breathe. Let's inhale, press up, unwind. Coming back to table. Once you're in table, step both feet back, move into plank. Let's shift our weight into that right hand, right foot, move into your side plank. So feet can be stacked, you can have your feet staggered, or You can take that right knee down as a kickstand, especially if your core is tired or it's a little weaker, you're working on it. No worries. One more breath here. Let's go ahead and unwind. Find your plank. From here, you can lower those knees first. You can lower straight through plank, moving through our chaturanga, peeling up into a cobra or find an up dog. We'll press back through child's pose. And then we're going to make our way into table, tucking those toes, spreading those fingers wide and moving into downward facing dog. Once you're in your downward facing dog, go ahead and walk the dog, pedal through those feet. Loosen up a little bit. And then just start to settle in. Legs can be straight or you can bend your knees, especially if you have tight hamstrings like I do. I always bend my knees for down dog. You're still going to get really good stretch. Let's go ahead and nod our heads up and down. Turn your head from side to side. Just loosen up that neck a little bit more. Good. Coming back to center. Let's take a nice long inhale. Bend those knees nice and deep. Look between your hands and hoppers. Step your feet forward. We'll move into our forward fold Uttanasana. Once again, your knees can be bent as much as you need. And just listen to your hamstrings, the backs of your legs. And we're going to inhale, find half high. Lengthen forward through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, reverse swan dive. We're going to press up to standing. Drawing hands to heart center. Go ahead and release. So from here, we're going to move into tree. So let's go ahead and shift our weight into our right leg. Bring your hands palm to palm in your Anjali Mudra. And we're going to take that left knee out to the side. So you can stay right here. If your balance is a little off, keep that kickstand. Otherwise, as you feel ready, bring your foot up to your calf, up to your thigh, or into a half lotus. Just don't place that foot on your knee. Don't want any injuries. So find your tree and just breathe. Hands can stay at heart center, or if you want, you can grow your tree branches, or you can take those tree branches down to the ground. And we'll take one more breath. Go ahead and start to release out of your tree. Shake those legs out a little bit. Let's just twist a little bit from side to side. Just let those arms flop back and forth. So I think in kids yoga, this is happy elephant, which I think is wonderful, and it feels good. Good. Coming back to center. And we're just going to switch sides with our tree. So as you're ready, start to ground through that left leg. We're going to tip that right knee open, opening that hip. And as you find that balance, find your tree. So it might look different on this side if your balance is a little better. Or again, if it's off, come down into that kickstand. We'll take a few more breaths. Remember, you can grow those tree branches up and out. You can take those tree branches down to the ground. Nice long inhale. Long exhale. Go ahead and start to release out of your tree. Shake those legs out again. Twist a little bit from side to side. Good. So coming back to center. We're going to go ahead and start to move through our flow. So I'm going to turn to face the side so you can see how it looks from the side. So you're going to turn to the front of your mats. Bring your hands palm to palm. We're going to inhale here. As you exhale, sit back into chair. Weights in your heels, toes are light. So once you're in your chair, wiggle those toes. Make sure they're not gripping the mat. And try to go just a tiny bit deeper. Inhale, straighten those legs, fold forward to Uttanasana. We'll start to move through our flow. So inhale to half high. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands, step or hop your feet back, find plank. Go ahead and lower through Chaturanga, hugging those elbows in tight to your ribs. As you lower, inhale, up dog or cobra. Press back through child's pose. And then we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, you can walk that dog again or just to loosen up a little bit. And then just start to settle your heels down toward the mat. Remember, those knees can stay bent. Let's inhale our right leg high into the sky, three-legged dog. We'll draw our foot through our hands, moving into a low lunge. From here, we're going to press up and find our high lunge, Anjaneyasana. And just hold here. Let's draw our hands down to heart center, palm to palm. From here, we're going to take a twist. So we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, take that left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. And we're twist to the right. Good, one more breath. Let's go ahead and unwind, frame that front foot, find a low lunge. Step your right foot back to meet left, plank. Lower through Chaturanga. Finding your up dog or cobra. Pressing back through child's pose to counteract that back bend we just did. And we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, find that breath again. Isn't long and even. Let's inhale our right leg high into the sky, three-legged dog once again. From here, we're going to bend our knee and draw our knee and shin through our hands, preparing for pigeon. So extend that left leg back behind you. Make sure that leg is right behind your hip. You don't want it kicked off to the side. So check in with that back leg. So from here, let's just press our fingertips on the mat and just look up, a little back bend. And then as you exhale, fold out over your leg and find a pigeon. So we're going to hold pigeon here for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, just a little bit longer, just to really let that right hip, right glute loosen up. So just breathe. We'll take a few more breaths here. And on your next inhale, start to press up. Plant those hands, tuck your back toes. We're going to lift up and back into three-legged dog. We're going to float forward, weight is in your hands, find a three-legged plank, engage that core. Inhale up and back, three-legged dog. We'll draw our foot through our hands, moving into our low lunge. Feet are hips width apart, lower that left heel onto the mat, press up and find warrior one. Scrunch those toes just a little bit further forward. Try to go tiny bit deeper. And let's open into warrior two. So line up that right heel with your left arch. Find your warrior two. Good to sternal palms to face the sky. Inhale that right arm up and back. Find exalted warrior, really stretching through that right side body. Good, windmill those arms back to warrior two. Try to go just a tiny bit deeper. Inhale your front leg straight. Walk that back foot up a tiny bit. Turn those palms to face the sky and reach forward. We're going to move into triangle trikonasana. So let that right hand float down, right leg. Reach up with that left arm. If you have any shoulder pain or pinching, you can take that left arm and just drop it down your back body. So peel open that left shoulder, that left hip. Just breathe. Try to reach down just a tiny bit more with that right hand. And from here, we're going to unwind. We're going to find a low lunge again. Step your right foot back to meet left plank. Lower through chaturanga. And we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, fingers are spread wide. Try to push the mat forward with your hands. Try to press your chest to the tops of your thighs. And then on your next inhale, bend those knees nice and deep. Look between your hands and hop or step your feet forward. We'll move back into Uttanasana, forward fold. Good. Inhale, half high. Exhale, fold. On our next inhale, we're going to reverse swan dive. Sweep those arms out and up to standing. And we're going to keep moving through our flow here, so hands come palm to palm, sit back into chair. Hands come to heart center. Toes are light again, the weight's in your heels. Try to go a tiny bit deeper. And inhale, straighten those legs, fold forward, Uttanasana. We're going to inhale half high. Start to move through our flow again. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands, find plank. Lower through chaturanga, and we'll meet up and back in our downward facing dog. And breathe here in down dog. Let's inhale our left leg high into the sky, three-legged dog. We'll draw our foot through our hands, moving into a low lunge. Feet or hips width apart. We're going to press up and find our Anjaneyasana on our left side. So our high lunge. This time, let's bring our arms to cactus. So draw those shoulder blades down your back body. Fingers are spread wide. And let's try to go a tiny bit deeper. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, take that right elbow to the outside of that left thigh and take a twist. Let's unwind. Frame your front foot. Find a low lunge. Step your left foot back to meet right plank. Lower through chaturanga. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a nice long inhale once you're in down dog. Nice long exhale. On your next inhale, take that left leg high into the sky, three-legged dog. We'll draw our knee and shin through our hands, preparing for pigeon on our left side. So extend that right leg behind you. Make sure it's not kicked off to the side again. Let's press through our hands, look up, and then we'll extend out over our left leg, coming into pigeon. So your forehead can rest on your stacked hands, it can rest on your mat, maybe on stacked fists. It all just kind of depends on how far down you can go in your pigeon. So find whatever modification works and just breathe. We'll take a few more breaths here. On your next inhale, start to press up. Plant those hands, tuck those back toes. Lift up and back into three-legged dog. So extend that left leg back, nice and long. Then we're going to shift our weight into our hands, find a three-legged plank. Engage that core. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. We're going to draw our foot through our hands, moving into our low lunge on our left side. This time, spin your right heel onto the mat, press up and find your warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. So toes are light, make sure they're not gripping the mat. Wiggle those toes. Good, let's open into warrior two. So line up that left heel with your right arch, bending into that left knee. And again, toes are light, so try not to grip that mat. Good, let's turn our palms to face the sky. We're going to inhale, reach up and back with that left arm. Right arm drops down that back leg. Good, windmill those arms back to warrior two. We're going to straighten our front leg, walk that back foot up a tiny bit, and then find Trikonasana triangle. So reach forward, and then tip into triangle. Remember, if your right shoulder pinches or if it gets numb or sore, always drop it down that back body. Your gaze can be at your toes, it can be straight ahead or up towards your hand. Again, it's just whatever feels good. Let's try to reach that left arm down just a little bit more. Good. Let's unwind. Find a low lunge, feet or hips width apart. Step that left foot back to meet right plank. Lower through chaturanga. And we'll meet up and back in downward facing dog. And once you're in down dog, walk the dog again, pedal through those feet. Nod your head up and down, turn from side to side. And then just settle in. Drop those heels down toward the mat. Let's take a nice long inhale here. Long exhale. Another nice long inhale. On your next exhale, lower those knees wide to the mat, cross your big toes, press back child's pose. Relax those forearms to the mat or take those arms all the way around to your heels and find a full child's pose. Just take some pressure off of those arms as we start to bring our practice back down. Just breathe. take a few more breaths here. On your next inhale, we're going to press up. We're going to swing those legs around. We're again going to come into our seated staff position. So from here, if you have the tendency to kind of slump when you sit in your staff pose, you can take a blanket and prop it up underneath your sit bones so that it helps to give a little bit of an arch to your back, helps you straighten up. So let's take our arms up to the sky, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, reach for those toes or your ankles or shins, whatever you can grab. Just draw your heart towards your toes. Stretching out our hamstrings, our low back. Let's try to go just a tiny bit lower. Let's inhale, press back up. From here, we're going to draw our right foot up alongside our left thigh, or you can cross it over. Either way, sit up nice and tall, wrap that left arm around your leg, draw those right fingertips behind you and take a twist. So try to engage and flex that left foot so that it helps to engage all the muscles of that left leg. Makes them work a little bit more. Let's try to twist just a little bit deeper. Let's unwind back to center. We're just going to lower that right knee down toward the mat, press that right foot into your left thigh. Turn your heart toward those left toes, and let's just walk our hands down toward those toes. So we're just isolating our left leg, left side of our body here. Just breathe. Try to go just a tiny bit deeper on your next exhale. Inhale, press back up. We're just going to switch legs. We're going to take that right leg and extend it. Take that left foot up alongside your right thigh or cross it over. And from here, we'll take our twist to our left. So draw those left fingertips behind you. Flex that right foot. Just breathe. Good. Twist a little bit deeper on your next exhale. Try to twist a little bit more. We'll unwind, come back to center. This time, lower that left knee to the mat, press that left foot into your right thigh. Turn your heart toward those right toes and just walk your hands down that right leg. Breathing. Just kind of notice how your right side feels versus your left. So in every yoga practice, just kind of see how you feel from one day to the next, one posture to the next. And on your next exhale, try to go just a tiny bit deeper. Let's inhale, press back up. This time we're going to bring our feet sole to sole. Draw those heels close to your sit bones. Wrap your hands around the tops of your feet. From here, we're just going to draw those knees down toward the mat as much as you can. We're going to inhale and draw our heart forward. Try to keep that spine nice and long. So just draw that heart forward. Still try to take those knees down toward the mat. Reach with that heart. Your next exhale, you can round that back, go a little bit deeper to our bound angle, or we'll call it a cobbler's pose, butterfly. All right, let's inhale, press back up. From here, we're going to draw our knees together. Just hug those knees into your chest. Draw those eye sockets down towards your knees. Breathe. Good. Coming back out of this, we're going to find our boat pose. So we have lots of different options. So let's start our boat by just planting those feet and just leaning back. Engage that core. So you can stay right here in boat, and that's perfectly good, especially if your core is weaker or if it's tired or your back's tired. Keep those feet grounded. Otherwise, you can lift those feet up into the sky. Knees can stay bent, or you can straighten those legs. If you have tight hamstrings like I do, you might not be able to straighten those legs, and that's okay. Good. Wiggle those feet. Let's bring our hands palm to palm. Good. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, twist to the right. And then come back to center and twist to the left. Let's continue going back and forth. Good. So we're hitting those obliques in your core. One more on each side here. Coming back to center for one more breath. Nice long inhale. Long exhale. Grab behind those thighs, lower those feet, and lower all the way down onto your back. Once you're on your back, drop both knees in. Hug those knees into your chest. From here, give yourself a little massage. So circle those knees or make figure eights on the back of the room. With those knees, just massage that low back into the mat a little. You rock a little bit from forward and back, side to side. Let's wrap your hands around your right leg, your right knee, hug it into your chest, and we're going to extend that left leg up into the sky. Flex that foot, lead with your heel and lower that leg, nice and slow and controlled all the way down onto the mat. Once your heel reaches the mat, extend that right leg up into the sky. Flex your foot, engage that core, and lower your right leg all the way down, slow and controlled. You can place your hands on your belly just to feel that control. Once that right heel touches the mat, draw your left knee into your chest, hug it in. We'll inhale that left leg straight up into the sky. Flex that foot, leading with that heel lower. One more time on your right side. Inhale, that right knee comes up. Hug it into your chest. Inhale your legs straight up into the air. And then exhale, lower. And once that right heel reaches the mat, draw your knees into your chest. Hug them in. Good. Release your feet to the mat. A little bit wider than hips width apart. Bring your arms out to T. We're going to take a supine spinal twist. So we're going to just shift our weight over to the left side, coming down onto that right hip. From here, you have several options. You can cross that left leg on top of your right, or you can leave those knees separate. Either way, lower both knees down into the right. Turn your head over your left shoulder. Shut down those eyes. Just breathe. Let that body be heavy. If you're like me and like to have your knees just separated, you can take that right ankle and cross it on top of that left thigh just to add a little bit more depth to that stretch. So supine spinal twist I do in pretty much every one of my classes. It's such a good stretch for your back, your spine. Even reaches into the hip flexor and your glute. Let's inhale, start to draw those knees back up, unwind. Plant those feet, uncross those ankles, they're crossed. Shift your weight back to center, keeping those feet spread a little bit wider than hips width apart, just windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Just to reset your spine. Back to center, we're just going to switch sides, so take those arms out to T again. We're going to shift our weight over to the right side, coming down onto our left hip. And then either crossing that right leg on top of your left or just leaving those knees separate. Lower your knees down and to the left. Turn your head over your right shoulder, shut down those eyes again. Just let that body be heavy. If those knees are separate, you can take that left ankle and cross it on top of your right thigh. Once again, just to coax that right leg down a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and unwind. Uncrossing those legs if they're crossed, shifting that weight back to center. We'll windshield wiper those knees back and forth again. Coming back to center, let's draw those heels close to your sit bones, feet or hips width apart. We're going to bring our arms alongside our body to start. We're going to do a little bit of an active bridge here, working our glutes and our hamstrings. So we're going to inhale, tilt that pelvis up and press your hips up into the air, finding your bridge. Once you find the top of your bridge, start to lower, slow and controlled, back down toward the mat. Right before your glutes touch the mat, go ahead and press back up into your bridge. It's nice slow pulses here. Pressing up at the top of that bridge, and then lowering, slow and controlled. So if you want to add a little bit of extra core work to this motion, you can take your arms straight up above your shoulders, reach up. Continue with your pulses. We're going to do 2 more. On your last one, let's stay in bridge so your arms can stay extended up. You can draw them alongside your body, or you can tuck your shoulders underneath, interlace your fingers. So just find a static bridge. Try to keep those hips lifted even. So imagine someone has a string attached to your belly button and they're just pulling you nice straight up with that string. You can shut down those eyes again. Just breathe. And on your next exhale, start to lower nice and slow and controlled out of your bridge. Once your pelvis reaches the mat, go ahead and drop both knees into your chest again. Hug them in. Just to release that low back, counteract that back bend. Once again, you can add movement if you want. You can draw circles with your knees or figure eights again. Rock back and forth a little bit, side to side. And as a final inversion, before we start to move into our Shavasana, let's find Happy Baby. So grab the outside edges of your feet, draw those soles up toward the sky, draw those knees down toward your shoulders. Try to keep your sacral area, that low back, pressed onto the mat, so try to keep it grounded. So if you find that you're kind of lifting up that low back and you can't press it down, just adjust until you can get that low back grounded. So you can stay static again in your happy baby, or you can rock a little bit from side to side. You can kick your feet, alternate into one hand and the other, just like you see babies when they're playing on their back. Play with your toes. Once again, do what feels good. Good. Try to draw those knees in just a little bit more towards your shoulders. And go ahead and start to release out of your happy baby. And we're going to start to prepare for Shavasana. So extend those legs out. Let those feet relax. Let your arms relax wherever's comfortable. Some people like to just place their hands on their belly. It helps kind of ground you. Or you can keep those arms out to the side. Cover up with a blanket or put on socks. Get nice and comfortable. And start to find your breath again. Gradually start to lengthen those inhales, lengthen those exhales until they're nice and long and even. As you inhale, feel that belly fill up with air, just like a balloon. Feel those ribs expand and your chest lift as you take in all that good, nourishing air. And as you exhale, just let everything release. Let everything soften again. Relaxing heavy into the mat. More breaths here. Start to add a little bit of movement to your fingers, to your toes. Turn your head from side to side. Just wake your body back up. On your next inhale, reach those arms overhead and take a nice long full body stretch, just like you're waking up in the morning. Stretch nice and long. Reach through those fingers, reach through those toes. And then release. Rolling to your right side, find fetal position. Just blink open your eyes. Let the light of the room back in. And as you're ready, start to press up and find a comfortable seated position. Drawing hands to heart center in your Anjali Mudra. We're just crossing them over your heart. Well, thank you for joining me today for this practice. Hopefully you have a great rest of the day, and until I see you next time, namaste.